In this video, I'm going to show you the process of saving your own zinnia seeds. With an abundance of flowers, a long growing season, they are the perfect beginner cut flower. So you're going to want to have a lot of these seeds on hand. So if you're planning on collecting seeds from your own plants, it's important to know that pollination must take place in order for the plants to set seed. It usually takes about 2 to 3 months in order for the plant to go from bloom to seed. And it's important to keep in mind that this process must happen while the flower is still on the plant. You can't simply pull a cut flower from a bouquet and expect for there to be viable seeds in it. If you want your zinnias to come back true, you have to isolate them from other varieties, or you can grow just a single variety. You would accomplish that through covering them. You could use a mesh dome tent in order to keep pollinators out. And then that way you can introduce your own pollinators into the mesh tent, and then all the pollination that occurs would only be among that one variety. Or you could have distance between your varieties, but keep in mind that distance would be quite a bit of distance, around 1,000 feet or so, and maybe not everyone has the space for that. Now, you don't want to cut the flowers too early. Here's an example of one that is not quite ready yet. You can tell it's starting to die. Some of the petals are turning brown, however, it is not ready to cut yet. This one is also getting there, but it's not quite ready yet. The petals on top are still colored. These are starting to die, but if we leave it on the stem and wait until it's fully dead, then we're gonna get a lot more seeds out of it. We're definitely getting there, but again, I would wait just a little bit longer. Of course, you could pick it at this stage, but I feel like if you just have a little bit more patience, then you're gonna get a lot more seeds. Now this one right here, see how it has a brown stem and a brown head? If you can wait until this stage, you have won the gold prize for patience. So a lot of times you can find them hidden down below in the bushes. So what you're going to want to do is hold on to the top of the flower head, take your snips and just cut at the base of the head. Now you can see some of them I put a brown tie on because these are ones that I specifically wanted to keep because they were beautiful, beautiful flowers. And so I wanted to make sure that I got seeds from those heads. You're going to want to harvest these about once a week before they start crumbling apart. It's getting close to the end of the growing season for the zinnias, and as you can tell, they're looking a little tired and mangy, but I'm still thoroughly enjoying them and bringing them inside as much as I can to enjoy as fresh cut flowers. All right, so I brought them inside, and now I'm going to show you how to get the seeds out. Okay, so I have all the zinnia seeds inside that I'm going to be going through today. Here is what it looks like when it's completely dried out. This is exactly how it should look at the point when you want to save the seeds. Now, each of these petals are an actual seed. If you were to pull it out, there it is, right there on the end. See that arrowhead looking part? That is the seed. You're going to want to let these dry out for about a week. So because I'm doing this on a small scale, I'm just going to leave them on my kitchen counter, let them dry out for a week, and then that way when I go to harvest the seeds, they're going to be completely dried out on the inside. If I were to pull out some of these petals right now, there could be some moisture. I can feel on this one in particular, see, since it has the coloring still to those petals, it's not completely dry. So when I pull them out, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult to work with, so it's better to wait until they're completely dry. So these petals will just come right out, and as you can see on the edge of these, those right there are all the seeds. So you're just going to want to pull them out, and it leaves this cone shape in the center. We're gonna try to leave that alone as best we can because it will start to crumble when it's super dry. Another thing you can do if you don't want the chaff attached to the seed, like if you're gonna be, you know, selling seeds or giving seeds to a friend and you want it as clean as possible, is when you break off the seeds out of the seed head, just hold on to them and then you can just tear that off. And then you're left with pretty clean seeds without the chaff on it, if you can see that. It's amazing how many seeds you can get from each bloom. These seeds were from about just 2 flowers, so it really is worth saving your own seeds. For storing seeds, it's best to use a paper envelope of sorts so that in case there's any moisture left on the seeds, they won't end up rotting. Saving your own seeds can be really smart because seeds are so expensive. If you enjoyed watching this video, consider watching this video on how to grow your own zinnias.